Hi guys, welcome to another episode of our design tutorial. Today we are going to be creating a church flyer, and without further ado, let's get started. So first thing we are going to do is to create a new layer and choose the size of your artboard. So you can either work, if you are working in a square, usually it's 1080 by 1080. If you are working on an Instagram frame, is 1080 by 1350, and so on. So if you know your frame, you just create your custom artboard size, then you hit on create. So from here we are going to bring in the image for our background. We are working on a project which is titled Realms of Glory. So the idea is to get something that speaks of the glory of God, and it reveals this glory. We know that glory comes in the form of light, as the Bible has made us to understand. So we are going to be playing around with something like that. So first I'm going to bring in a background I downloaded this background from iStock. Okay, so since the background is not covering all the parts we are looking at, and I also see something here where we have the cloud-like texture, we are going to bring that to the top and then bring this side to the down, so that it is more flexible for us to work on the background. So the next thing we are going to do, since this part of the artboard is empty, what I'm going to do is to make this a rastered layer. To rasterize it, then we select our marquee tool. The shortcut for it is M. Then I'll click and draw to cover the space, and I right click and we click on fill, content aware fill, click on OK. Then Photoshop should do its thing. Alright, so now Ctrl D to deselect. Now we have this as our background. Then the next thing I want to do is to make this a smart object. Then we are going to work on the text that we are going to be using. Which I'm going to use a 3D text I downloaded from Magnific, formerly Freepik. Okay, so right now we have this bold text, and I prefer using this because of how I want the image to speak. Like, it has to be bold with this commanding experience. So what we are going to do now is to work on the text, then we move it to our artboard. The next thing is to reduce the size to fit into the artboard. And give him some spacing. So Once we are done with this place, what we are going to do, we are going to transport it to the artboard we are working on, and then do our finishing touches on the title. So once we paste it, it's going to have this scaled up size. So instead of us to scale it down, scaling it down will distort how the image is going to look like. So instead of us to scale it down like this, what we are going to do first is to create a smart object with both layers selected. We create a smart object, and now it becomes a single object. So when we scale it down, it does not affect how it looks currently. No matter how we scale it down, it's still going to maintain its size. The next thing we are going to do is to add the last text that we are supposed to add. It can be Realms Glory, so the off has to come. Okay, so from here, the next thing we are going to do, let me adjust this image a little bit too, so that the images can look to match each other. This is more like it. This is more alike. And yeah, it's more like it. Let's need to add our logos and then our text. The details of the program. So we are done with this. Since it's an event, so we're going to duplicate it so that we can create each day's service. Yeah, we're going to create each day's service. So what we are going to do here is I'm going to copy everything in the first artboard, all the layers that we used in the first artboard. So every layer we used in the first artboard, we're going to select everything and then copy, Ctrl C, then paste in place over here in artboard 2. I will just tweak the title, the speaker, and then the details, other details, that the necessary details that we need to change. The reason why we made making this a smart object also is crucial is because I will not change. I'm using the same type 3D text effect to create the title for the first day, and then I will not want to change how it looks like. So we are now going to double click into the smart object, and it brings us here. So it brings us here, then we go into the part where we can make our change. So it does not affect the so it does not affect how it's going to look like. So with this done, we're going to do Control S, save it, and then we go here. We also save how it looks like over here. What's happening? Right, so as you can see, it has changed now. Okay, so now what we are going to do here is to turn off this speaker. Since it's just one speaker, we are going to be having, oh my goodness, I'll bring this speaker into the middle. I'll scale the size a little and then drop it down. With this part, you can just go ahead with however style suits you, either to the left, to the right, the center, up, down, however you feel like you should place your image. You can, you are at liberty to do that. And I'll adjust the name as well. So yes, yeah, that's it for this one. The next thing I'm going to do is to move the logo and then the QR code up a little so that it's further away from the topic as compared to how it is now. So now what we're gonna do is to copy change the dates. I'm going to change the dates. So now what we are going to do for the last one is we are not going to copy the first one. We are going to copy everything in the second artboard because it has the date specified on it and everything. So instead of having to have the first artboard and then tweaking everything again, it is more easier if we do that with just the content in the second artboard. We paste in place, then we change the speaker. Now we are going to change the speaker. the next thing is to change the date of the event. The time still remains the same, so there's no need for that. So this is the only thing we're going to change. And then the name of the pastor, speaker, and then also the topic. All right, so yeah, finally we have our results, and I hope you gain some technique you can use to work on your next project. I'm not able to put any link in the description because of certain reasons I've not sorted out yet. So you can search me on Telegram, Design with Steve, and I'm gonna have the archive of the elements I used, all the resources I used is going to be in there, if just in case you need it to work on a project or try your hands on it. It is going to be there. So search me on Telegram, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Have a good one.